not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahuwah. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken off crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Eden and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Harganims, Jubal and Ammon and Amalek and the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher also is joined with them, and they have holpen the children of Lot, Salah. Do unto them as the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor, they became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb and like Zeb, yea, all their princes, Zebah and Zalmunna, who said, let us take unto ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh, my God, make them like a wheel, as stubborn before the wind. As the fire burneth a wood, as the flame setteth mountains on fire, so persecute with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Yahuwah. Let them be confounded and troubled forever, and let them be put to shame and perish. That men may know that thou art, whose name is Yehovah, art the Most High over all the earth. Psalms chapter 83. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits, who have swayed the thoughts of men's hearts, and let them not lead me astray from thee, my God. Establish me in my seed, that we go not astray henceforth and forevermore. Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20. Yes, all praises, all praises, all praises, all praises, all praises, all praises, all glory to the Most High, glory to his wonderful name. Yes, 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 we know him as the I am that I am. Yes, hallelujah. We thank the Most High for all that he has done. Even in that last part of the psalm, it should have started out with Yah, but we know where the Ye comes from. But either way, we thank the Most High for all that he's done on today, and we thank him how he's dealing with these powers, these supremacist powers that want to subdue everything that does not look like them. Those who have caused themselves to be made into something they're not. Subduing and belittling others, even though God may have caused this to happen, it's still overstepping their bounds. And the time has come, time's up, put it that way. And we thank the Most High that he's beginning to humble women all over the globe. For the same spirit that tempted Eve is tempting every woman in the same format as he has Eve. Think about it when you start dealing with your husbands or husbands to be, how you're acting, and think about the temptation. Thou knowest that in the day that you eat of this tree, that you do this act, that you cause this to happen, you shall be like that man, even better than that man. And you will be next to God. Then you can try God after that. Sounds far-fetched, don't it? It's true though. Watch your intention very critically. Now, we're in the book of 2 Kings. 2 Kings, we're in 2 Kings chapter 6. 2 Kings chapter 6. And we know that the Most High he really is working toward just receiving and bringing to himself and drawing to himself those that are of Jacob. He already knows many will not even come. Very few would even live the life that they should. And that small remnant that the world thinks that is fictitious, the world thinks that it's not going to come to pass. Yet you go on with your revelings, your idolary acts, your disrespect towards your fellow human being when he has done nothing wrong to you. All these things will bring forth the wrath of the Most High upon the children of men. It's not a color thing. You got all over the world, they are doing these things because they think, because of their status and their riches and their popularity, or should I say, counts for godliness and to be above the law, even God's law. Their beauty, that everyone should pay homage to their beauty or handsomeness. But God got away. I'm going to leave it at that. Nevertheless, we're in 2 Kings chapter 6. 2 Kings chapter 6. Yes. And it reads, "And the sons of the prophets said unto Elisha, Behold, now the place where we dwell with thee is too strait for us." Strait would be narrow. Let us go, we pray thee unto Jordan, and take thence every man a beam, and let us make us a place there where we may dwell. And he answered, Go ye. In other words, all these prophets, who sought the Most High, who dedicated their life to just seeking God. So many of them had wives and children and everything. These were the prophets. That was the following that they did. And he said, Go. And one said, Be content, I pray thee, and go with thy servants. And he answered, I will go. I'll go with you, no problem. And he went with them, and when they came to Jordan, they cut down wood, as one was felling a beam, and the axe head fell into the water, and he cried and said, Alas, master, for it was borrowed. And the man of God said, Where fell it? And he showed him the place. He cut down a stick and cast it in thither, and the iron did swim. Now, you listen to the structure of this sentence. If it was in the original language, you would mostly compare it with some Nigerians who speak a sort of backwards English. Yes, they're speaking in their sentence structure. They know what they're saying, but it's just they're speaking in their sentence structure, but putting it in English. This is how they're talking, and you have to really think of, when you're listening to certain Nigerians, you have to really pay attention that they're speaking backwards English according to their sentence structure. This is the way they're thinking, but they can speak in their native language easy and fast, because their language sounds as though there is no punctuation. Oh, excuse me. And he said, Where fell it? Therefore said he, Take it up to thee. And put out his hand and took it. And the king of Syria warred against Israel, and took counsel with the servants, saying, In such and such a place shall be my camp. And the man of God sent unto the king of Israel, saying, Beware that thou pass not such a place, for thither the Syrians are come down. Here's the king of Israel again. And the king of Israel sent to the place which the man of God, or the man of the I Am, told him and warned him of, and saved himself there, not once nor twice. Therefore the heart of the king of Syria was sore troubled for this thing, and he called his servants and said unto them, Will you not show me which of us is for the king of Israel? And one of his servants said, None, my king, but Elisha the prophet that is in Israel telleth the king of Israel words that thou speakest in thy bedchamber. In other words, God's warning the king of Israel, saying, don't go there. And he said, Go and spy where he is, that I might send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, Behold, he is in Dothan, not Alabama. Therefore sith he thither horses and chariots and great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about. And when the servant of the man of God was risen early and gone forth, behold, an host compasses the city with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do? In other words, I'm coming after you. You don't want to get, you warn the man, the king of Israel, to not come into my trap. And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. Now, if I was a Christian or whatever denominational preacher, or maybe a high charisma or the helmet seeing what I say, that would be a good, fiery sermon. But let's call it like it is. Fear not. See, we're talking about that spiritual eye. We're talking about, I'm not even getting into the pineal gland that people talk about. Throw that thing out the window. I'm talking about when your spirituality, when your relationship with God is so heightened that not only you, sometimes you might hear noises in your home, or sometimes you're laying on your bed and you hear someone shouting, or someone might even say your name. Some of you have seen visions and saw actual angelic beings, or should I say, those angelic means messenger beings. Really, it's spirits, whether they be evil or the spirits of God. You only have one of the two. There's no in-betweens with the spirit world. And Elijah prayed in verse 17 and said, Oh, I am that I am. I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. In other words, God had to take him into another realm, or put him into a trance or something. And the I am opened his eyes of the young man, and he saw. See, he had another young man beside Gehazi, because Gehazi in the last chapter decided he gonna get him some money. He gonna have him pay for the work of God. See, this is all that talks about what we have discussed on the last chapter. Charging for the works of the Most High when they're not your works. You're just being obedient. Okay, let's continue. He says this, he says, open his eyes, and the I am opened the eyes of the young man. He saw, behold, the mountains was full of horses, chariots of fire round about Elisha. In other words, he said chariots because that's all they could compare it with. Make no mistake. It looked like, so it was probably something we can identify to this day, what it would look like. The same chariots that carried up his predecessor into the sky. I can say heavens, but that's only an old English word. There's no such thing as, heaven means sky, the atmosphere, up and away. Yes, that's what it means. Just call a buck. Up into the sky. And the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. Could these be those same horses that was found in the book of Zechariah? They were laying by the myrtle trees. We'll get there eventually. I mean, some were speckled, some was black, and some were red, and all these things. These were different type of horses. They made them up in the book of Revelation. Death was following death, and it's just the names they give these riders of the horse, which is foolery. Whereas God give the names, God don't change. That's the auspices of men, period. So I tell you the New Testament is fake. I didn't go that part when I talked about Revelation at first, because we were just getting started, really. And plus, my eyes were open even more to this day. And when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto the I Am, said, smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. Now he did this not because he had power, the power of God. He did it by permission from God. Smite these people, I pray thee. A righteous. It's not because you have malice with people. You say, God, you curse men, tell God to curse men. It's because they be the enemies of the Most High. They come against the Most High because the Samaritan king wanted to come against who? God. Who represented the Most High on earth? Who was the one that was used to obey God and cause the king of Israel to be alarmed? Elisha. So he came against God, period. It wasn't Elisha. And when they came down, I see, well, how did I come to that derision? The fact is, Samuel, when they told Samuel, we want a king, who were they talking to? They were talking to God. In other words, God, we don't want you no more. We want Jesus. We want David. We want Samuel. We want Azariah. The pagan king of Israel who had no children. We want all these. And so now, and he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha. Now, this is when you have, when we are in harmony with the Most High. It has nothing to do with your being all this effeminate, tiptoeing through the tulips man. It's because you understand and you know him. Even the Most High, the creator of all heaven and earth, or the sky and earth, who possesses all time and space and fulfilleth all things. Yes, that's him. We say him because we were made in his image, man. If we weren't, why would he say it? Or him and the angels who appeared to men in different segments of the books, the holy books. They appear as men. They have no, should I say, genitalia. They're just men. Some have given power to create, some have given power to different things, to do work wonders inside the earth, just like inside of your body. You have no control over all the bacteria and the different workings of electrons and electricity and the pumping of the heart, and everything knows its course inside of your body, man. Only thing you have control over is your hands, and you can sometimes you could flex a muscle here and there, but if you don't work at it, it will never be flexed. In more commonality, you have a little control of your heart, but you can't stop your heart by your mind. Let's call a buck a buck. All of that, the order of your flesh was constituted by the Most High. The order inside of you. A deep space, not even doctors know the full result of it. Everything knows what to do. It has its order, just like the universe. Everything has its order. How did I get to that? Why did I say that? But either way, he says now, and when they came down to him, he wanted blindness, and and God smote him with blindness. Okay, verse 19. Elijah said unto them, Is this not the way? Neither is this the city? Follow me, and I will bring you to the man whom you seek. But he led them to Samaria. He was talking to these same people. In verse 20, and it came to pass when they were come into Samaria, that Elisha said, O Yahweh, open the eyes of these men that they may see. And the I am opened their eyes, and they saw, and behold, they were in the midst of Samaria. Now these were Israelites. They were not Samaritans. And it came to pass when they were coming to Samaria that Elijah says, he opened their eyes. And the king of Israel said to Elijah, when he saw them, My father, shall I smite them? Shall I smite them? And he answered, Thou shalt not smite them. Wouldest thou smite those whom thou hast taken captive with thy sword and with thy bow? Set bread and water before them, that they may eat, drink, and go to their master. He called Elisha when he saw them. The king of Israel called Elisha Father. Isn't that something? The power of the Most High with a man that has a heart like unto him can even cause kings to bow down. This king really was pagan. Really, he was pagan. And he said, Thou shalt not smite them. Wouldest thou smite those whom thou hast taken captive with thy sword and with thy bow? Set bread and water before them. Okay, have compassion. Because he could have subdued them any time. And he prepared a great provision for them. And when they had eaten and drunk and sent them away, they went to their master. So the bands of Syria came no more into the land of Israel. And it came to pass after this that Benhadad, king of Syria, gathered all his hosts and went up and besieged Samaria. And there was a great famine. Now, how did Samaria, or the city of Samaria, come about? You have to read back. Go back. That's why I tell you, like, share, and subscribe. Yes. And it came to pass that Benhadad, we heard about him again, the king of Syria, gathered all his hosts and went up and besieged Samaria. In other words, he surrounded it. He got it. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until the ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and the fourth part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. In other words, these people were so hungry they was willing to pay for anything, eat anything. And as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, Help, my O king. And he said, if the I am do not help thee, whence shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor, or out of the wine press? And the king said unto her, What aileth thee? She answered, This woman said unto me, Give thy son, that we might eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. These people were very hungry that even the families ate their own family members. So we boiled my son. Cannibalism. This is how far the famine went. That the strong overtook the weak, just like grasshoppers, or should I say crickets in a cricket cage. And you sit them up in the yard for the next day to fish and find out they're all dead the next day. Simply because they had nothing to eat and they turned on each other. And this is the same thing happened here. Crickets in a cage. So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her the next day, Give thy son so that we might eat him. And she hath hid her son. She ate the other woman's son. This was unjust for her, even as wicked as it is. And it came to pass when the king heard the words of the woman that he rent his clothes In other words, to say, how can an African king, you in the continent or any other continent, even in the United States, for the sake of war, take your citizens, cause them other citizens to subdue them? You're besieged by your own greed and selfish ambitions. Corporations would take their products and throw them out or shred them or whatever, rather than just give them away to a dying and hungry world. Because I make no money. Well, you made no money no way. Have you ever thought that if you give, when the people are up and going, they will see your products and buy them, even at whatever price you ask? Let's look again. He rent his clothes. In other words, some of these leaders buy Gucci and have bank accounts in other lands where their people starve and hungry. The youth doesn't have any jobs. This king did the same thing. That's why I say this is African or African-like. Not that any other nation is better, but this describes the attitude and the way that we see now, even on the continent. And he passed by on the wall, and the people looked, and behold, he had sackcloth upon his flesh. Upon his flesh. And he said, God, so do more to me if the head of Elisha, the son of Shaphat, shall stand on him this day. In other words, you accounted, you are, what you're doing, you are cursing God. It's just like when you begin to, a man tell you that your dilemma is because of your sin. You come against that man when you should be coming against God. And then you went against the wrong one. And when you come against the man of God or that person God is using, and what happens? You come against God either way. You're still coming against the wrong one. I kill, I make alive, I wound, and I heal. For I am he. No one can escape my hand of power, saith the Most High. No, man. He puts one up and takes one down. And he's in the process of taking one down now. Lifting another up, it's going to come down eventually. Don't worry. Be happy. Your God is coming after the remnant of Israel. This is what he's coming for. Oh, it's going to get worse. Oh, am I talking? Oh, you shouldn't say such a thing. You know our God, he loves us. So does the devil love. The devils love you too. Enough to keep you from God, to tempt you, to allow you to be tempted in many ways. And you still make it nowhere, even through your false preachers and texts and doctrines and all these other things. Yes. Deuteronomy chapter 28. Read it. Then he said, verse 32, but Elijah sat in his house, and the elders sat with him, and the king sent a man from before him. But the ear the message came to him and said to the elders, see how his son of a murderer have sent to take away mine head. The son of a murderer. Look, when the messenger cometh, shut the door and hold him fast at the door. Is not the sound of his master's feet behind him? And while he yet talked with him, behold, the messenger came down to him, and he said, behold, this evil is of the I am. What should I wait for? What shall I wait for the I am any longer? So, first you accuse the man or the person God is using to relay that message, the angel of the Most High, which be a man at this time. And now, when you come against the messenger, you come against the one who sent the message. And he said, what shall I wait for the I am any longer? Be careful how we take truth and cause ourselves to get angry at truth. Truth, regardless of who it comes from, could be the truth that's coming from the Most High. And that we're going to say, peace.
Walk with me.